Welcome back. In the last two videos, you learned about note values and their corresponding rests. The system works so that each value can be divided by 2, making the duration of notes and rests shorter and shorter. Today, you'll learn about 2 important elements used in rhythmic notation: dotted notes and ties. First, take another look at the rhythm example from the last video. What happens if we want to lengthen the first quarter note and not play the 8th note that follows? We can replace the 8th note by extending the preceding quarter note by the value of the 8th note. This is notated by connecting the 2 note heads with a curved line called a tie. A tie connects notes of the same pitch and shows that the second note is not played again. Instead, the first note is extended by the value of the tied note. Listen to both examples one after the other. There is another way to notate the same rhythm, by placing a dot after the note head of the quarter note. A dot always extends a note by half of its original value. A dotted quarter note therefore lasts as long as a quarter note plus an 8th note. We'll now play all 3 rhythms one after the other. You'll hear that examples 2 and 3 sound exactly the same, even though the notation looks very different. There is also such a thing as double-dotted notes. This means that an additional dot adds half of the value added by the first dot. A double-dotted quarter note therefore lasts as long as a quarter note, an 8th note, and a 16th note. In this example, 4 16th notes appear instead of the second quarter note. If the first quarter note is double-dotted, it absorbs the value of an additional 8th note and a 16th note. That is, the first 3 16th notes. Listen to how a double-dotted rhythm sounds. Here's a question for you. How could the same rhythm be notated using ties? In theory, there are 3 possibilities: tying the first 3 16th notes, combining the first 2 into an 8th note, or using a dotted 8th note. Only the last option is used as an alternative to double dotting. The goal is always to keep notation as simple as possible. You might be wondering, why do we use both dotted notes and ties? A dot can only extend a note by the next smaller value, whereas ties can connect any note values, even if the second note is longer than the first. This also works across bar lines, something a dotted note can never do. But what is a bar line, and why do we need it in the first place? That's what the next video will be about. Follow our channel to complete your music theory knowledge. And don't forget to leave us a like.